Hi everyone. Thanks.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I am absolutely great. So, we'll
I'm
just
super
wait for.
excited for today.
Me too. I mean, I just thought like you'll join in late, so I was like, you know, setting up my whole studio thing. So, we'll just wait for some time. Till then, you can like
Uh-huh.
introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah. So, so I thought I'll be late because I had a client call and the client was really late to the meeting, really, really late. But thankfully, like the call got over very fast, so it was cool. I think when the questions come in, they'll be on your side, so you'll need to read it out for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And just to set the tone for today's live Q&A, we are going to be discussing online business during a pandemic. If you are from my audience, hi, this is Saheli, and today joining me is Ashna from the Money Lancer. Ashna is a BMS student, and she's studying finance, and she's very excited about sharing her knowledge about finance with the world. She wants to make people more educated about finance and build a wealthy mindset in them. And that is where we resonate a lot. And that's why I thought she'll be the best person to talk about money and online business with you today. So if you have any questions regarding investing, online business, side hustles, etc., please leave them in the question box and Ashna can read them out. And yes, Ashna, I will like to start the session by asking you a question. Why should we think about online business and investing in during a pandemic, right? It's so risky to do something like that now. So why now?
Okay, so everything's risky, not because like we are in a pandemic right now. Even if we like start out, during normal days, it's still risky. We just have to start out because at the end, if we want to build something, of our own, we have to start. We can't wait or like pursue a 9 to 5 job. So it's better to do it now because like as the world is going online, and I feel like there are so many opportunities coming out, and we can just sit and talk to each other without actually going out or moving out. It's so relaxing. Although I know it's very boring when it comes to sit at home all the time, but it's just you need to start it. Everything is risky. Even though if we were in our normal days, it would have been risky. But nowadays I feel like online things are much more easier than the offline things. Now you can start
I
off your
agree.
business. Yeah, now you can start off your business very easily through, like we have so many website developers, like, actually you are a expert in freelancing, so, you must be like better one to speak about this, how, like, it's easy to get website developers, designers from Upwork or Fiverr. It's so easy nowadays. So it's easy right now, currently at least, rather than doing offline.
Hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I completely agree with you. Today is definitely the best time to start. Like the best time to start would have been 1 year ago. The second best time is now.
Yeah, true.
So definitely by setting that tone, make sure that you ask any questions you might have regarding online business, investing, etc. And Ashna, you can start reading them out and yeah, we
I
can
don't
start
know why my
answering them.
screen is like white. I mean, the questions that I'm not like I have to like reveal the questions first. So, so my question is how to start if we are unexperienced and want to develop a better finance base. Okay, so do you want to answer it first?
Oh, what if we want to develop a better finance what?
Finance base.
If you're thinking about online business, then the best way to get started would be like starting something like a service-based business because there's not a lot of capital you need. In fact, little to nothing, right? You can get a free website using something like Wix or WordPress, design it, start looking for clients using social media. I do not recommend Upwork and Fiverr, by the way. It's really hard to get clients there, at least for someone who's just starting off. So those platforms work if you have some experience, but for a beginner, not recommended. So yeah, that can be a good place to start. Offer some kind of service that you are capable of delivering. It can be something like writing, marketing, designing posts, a lot of skills you may already have from your school or college life, and you can utilize that to get international clients or even Indian clients if you want to just get started quickly and monetize that skill. And Ashna, can you please enlighten us about investing opportunities? What is the best way to invest our money today?
Yeah. So, going ahead, like we are in a pandemic right now. So, you should actually, if you have knowledge, you should absolutely go towards individual stocks. Like that's like highly recommended if you have that much knowledge to analyze, or, you are good with fundamentals and technicals. But if you're not good with that, I think mutual funds are best. Like right now, if not just mutual fund. In fact, index funds are also good as well, because the expense ratio is a lot less in index fund compared to mutual funds. So if you want to go towards investing, you can start off by investing in index fund, because the expense ratio is less. Plus, your money will get diversified into all the Nifty 50 companies if you choose the Nifty 50 index fund. So this is one way of starting. And then if you don't want to go towards index fund, but if you want to go towards mutual funds, then that also is a great option. But as I already said, like if you have knowledge, go towards individual stock. If you don't have, try to learn skills. And also another website which or app which I would recommend. So many people are asking that I want to learn stock market. How can I learn it? So there is a app called Zerodha, Varsity by Zerodha. I mean, they provide like exceptional amount of knowledge out there. So you can just go and try it out. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything. That's the better part about that. So you can go towards that.
Zerodha is like really popular, but I
Yeah.
have not really explored it as much as I would like to. I have my mutual fund company, and I'm like, you guys handle whatever you want to, but I think I should be more involved in my finances.
Okay, so I want to ask you, like, how did you started your freelancing journey, and how did you started your own business? And I also want to know about your business. What is it like? How did you build
Uh,
it?
Uh-huh. So I started as a freelancer when I was 15. No, I didn't really know that it's called freelancing. But basically, long story short, after I did my first project, my parents were very insecure about why I'm getting online money, right? Online money is somehow not real money. So my parents stopped me. Then I resumed working at 17. And after that, I was very consistent. I offered writing skills, and guys, I knew nothing. I just wrote like normal English of like essay level English. ICSE student though, some of you might say that ICSE students are better, but nothing like that. My English was not that great anyway. But that's what I was able to monetize. And after 2 years, I thought that my growth was very stagnated because there's only so much words I can write. Now that I've been working for so long, I know my approach then was wrong. It was not writing that was the factor, it was my mindset that was the problem. I know many writers who make over a lakh a month, but I thought that in writing I can't grow further. So I decided to kind of switch my niche to marketing. So I did marketing for a year on my own by just jugaad, right, random YouTube videos, pitching to
Your
people.
YouTube is
Then I
doing
finally,
absolutely amazing, dude. I mean, I just saw it today, and I was like,
thank you.
wow.
Thank you. I've not had the time to upload, like create content and upload because like there's so much bhagdod that is happening because of COVID. Um, because my parents live in a different place, I live in a different place. So it's just crazy here. But yeah, coming back, so I bought a course after a year of marketing, and that was like a proper marketing course. And that's where I learned how to get international clients. And it was the international client experience that just transformed my life. The clients pay you so much more. They are
Yeah.
so much better, like in quality, right? Also, the money is like almost 3 to 4 times higher in most of the cases. Um, and now that I have so many years of experience, I'm also able to charge like much higher rates hourly. Like for international clients, I charge like $200 an hour just for consulting, like
Wow,
talking
that's
to them
amazing.
and solving their problems. Yes, these kind of rates are just not, I'll not say impossible, but a little
Yeah.
improbable for someone who's just situated in India and has just 2, 3 years of
Yeah, I
experience,
mean, it will
which is a
obviously take
little
some
less.
time. Yeah, 100%.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So it is a little bit less for the price in India, but then internationally these are pretty much average rates.
Hmm.
So that's when like everything completely transformed. And ever since last year, I also have my own academy. Like it started in this January 1st. So that's where I also teach people how to get clients and everything. But still, my complete focus is on my agency, wherein I handle clients because I need to know how to get clients and work with clients in order to teach that. So that's why my schedule is like so overwhelmed, right? And I understand that you also understand overwhelming schedules because you're in college. And majority of my life was in college. Like I graduated in October.
Oh wow, that's really amazing. I mean, I also wanted to know like how, when did you started your YouTube journey, and how much time did it take to grow to this much? I mean, because
YouTube, I started.
so many people wanted that quick growth, like since Instagram is providing that right now. So YouTube is
No,
not that much. No, you don't think so that
no.
Instagram is providing good growth?
No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that regarding YouTube, YouTube can, if you want to make money as soon as possible, don't go for YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
just don't, because there's a lot to learn there, right? Because I do YouTube marketing for my clients too, and completely organic one. So, like,
Hmm.
SEO takes a huge amount of time, and that is something you need to learn. Not to mention, a single piece of YouTube content is several hours of work. Compared to that, within several hours or within 1 days of work, you can make Instagram content for a whole month. So, like, it is more value for time, and make sure that whatever you start, it has the potential to make you money and give you the work experience as soon as possible. So, in freelancing, in my opinion, the easiest job to get is data entry, which I absolutely don't recommend. There's no skill set required. It's just entering data, and you don't want to be a typist. I hope that you don't want to be a typist. Go towards strategic work. So you can start with content writing and move on to copywriting, which is like more strategic usually, but even content writing is very strategic in the right places with the right clients. And even marketing is very good. These are some fields where you'll be able to get started very, very quickly. Okay. Apart from that, video editing, graphic designing are also there. But I personally have worked in the first few niches, so I feel more confident talking about it. That's all. But I feel like starting an online business, investing as well, you need to start off as soon as possible. Like get the first-hand experience because study, though, you can do a lot of study, right? There's so much study materials, but first-hand experience is a different thing.
Yeah, but most of the people actually do some courses just for the sake of certifications. I have like so many friends out there who ask me, bro, certificate मिल
Certifications
रहा है?
don't hold a like not this little value. Like no one has ever asked me for my certification, which is
True.
so
But they
weird.
just want to put it on LinkedIn so that, their LinkedIn profile would like get a lot of value because of those certifications.
LinkedIn. Whose account did you grow? How much did their account grow? If you can put that kind of things into your profile, then it will be life changing, right? When someone will see
100%.
that you have helped a client make 10 lakhs in revenue, then the client will be like much more likely to work with you for high prices than someone saying that, oh, you did
Absolutely
a
better.
Google certification that also 1,000 other people did. Hmm.
100%. Am I audible, guys? Hello, is this my internet connection or is this what? Yeah, I guess she's going to post it out on her Instagram. I'm just waiting for her to join again. Great, great.
Is my voice
Hi.
audible? I'm sorry,
That
my
was your
network went off.
internet connect. Yeah, no problem.
Uh-huh, this
So,
this will happen once in a while in a life. Let's be prepared.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this happens like every time with me, so like there's no problem, no issues. I think audience will adjust with us for now.
Yeah. So what are the questions that we
Which,
have? I don't think
oh,
I can access the questions.
yeah, yeah. So the next question is, which courses you took to learn how to get international clients?
Oh, I
Like,
took this
oh,
course called yeah, I took this course called Marketing Accelerator Academy, which costs like 45,000 today, but when I got it, it was 20,000 or so.
wow.
So, because that was like over 2, 3 years ago, right? So
Yeah, okay.
inflation. Uh,
Okay.
also, the value of the course has also increased. So I understand that will be very inaccessible for a lot of you because of the price point. You can always start off with HubSpot's free resources, very good resources for overall marketing, content, etc. And you can also go for like Harvard University, I think, has a lot of coding related courses if that's where you're interested. Just that I don't have first-hand experience of that, but I've heard that those courses are also pretty good. So there's these platforms like edX and Coursera where you can find like courses
Hmm.
of like various skill sets.
In
Just
fact,
make sure that before you
so
take a
many, in
uh-huh.
fact, so many courses out there are free of cost. I have like gone through so many of finance courses out there which are free and actually provide value as well. Like I have like,
I
used a few of them because I wanted to learn at the very beginning. And it's like, if you're just starting out, you will get great amount of value out of those free courses too. So underestimate mat
Mhm.
karo.
Yeah, yeah. Just make sure that whatever course you're taking, it's a skill that is actually in demand. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of courses that are just there and it's good for fun, but then it may add no value to your future. So that won't make any sense. And yet, finance courses are really cool. I once did this accounting course for no reason at all. I just wanted to know about like making those balance sheet and all of that stuff. So that was very interesting. I think is it my internet which is like a little faulty or is it yours? I'm not sure.
Ah, it was my internet connection. I'll add her back. Dogecoin. I don't feel like, it makes any sense. Meme का coin है यार मतलब हाँ you can make profits out of it like अगर Elon का tweet चला तो hello. It's her internet connection. I'm not able to hear her. How can I understand stock market and invest in it as I just turned 18? Okay, so firstly, obviously, I mean, I have like recommended so many free courses through which you can learn, and also if you want some paid ones, Learn app is a good app through which you can learn about stock market. Then we have like NISM certificate, NSE certificate, BSE certificates. So you can take that for much better understanding. Other than that, experience is what matters. If you have like, if you have done many courses, then you can like just go and invest. Oh God. आज के दिन में I don't think we are able to do this whole live session. By the way, am I audible? मतलब मेरे इंटरनेट इश्यूज तो नहीं है.
Am I audible?
Yes. I thought like मेरे इंटरनेट का इशू है कुछ, but
I can't hear you. Just a
hello.
second. It's not your fault. Yeah, I can hear you. Is it my internet that is like acting funny every time?
I feel like guys, I want you all to answer because I won't be knowing.
I can't hear you clearly.
Oh God.
It's like really bad for me. I'm not sure how this video is appearing for you, but I think it's because
But
of the
now it's
rain
clear.
here today.
Oh, sorry. Now am I audible?
It pauses a little bit for me.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you, Deepthi, for letting me know that. Uh, my voice is echoing. I think I. All right, I'll
Now
check
am I
out my
audible?
other
Hello.
earplug. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I switched to Wi-Fi now.
Okay, Ashna, do make sure that your net is also working. Because some people are saying that mine is slow and some are saying yours is blurred. God knows what.
God knows, man. I mean, I understand because right now I am like sitting at a connection which is very far from me. I have 8,000. I'll add more in future, and I want to invest for long term. Which stock should I buy?
Hiba, we do plan.
Okay, so I don't do stock recommendations, although, but I mean, if I want to suggest any stock for long terms, it's surely HDFC. Then I have ITC, which is like always constant. Like, it's always on 200 to 205 market price. I don't know what's wrong with that stock, but like I've like held it for a long period of time. Now let's see. I just hope that ITC does well. And another stock is Reliance, which I feel like is good for holding for a long period of time. These three stocks, I feel like I'm very much confident about them. Other than that, I feel Colgate will do better. I mean, it's doing better already. I'm not able to hear Sai. Hello. आज के दिन में क्या पता होने वाला है कि नहीं लाए, बट होपिंग फॉर द बेस्ट. How much time did you take to learn all the 10 skills that you offer? Okay, I ask her when she's live. Yeah, her internet connection is not working properly currently. It's not a recommendation. This is just what I feel is going to do well. According to my analysis, but obviously you should do your own research before making any kind of investments, and taking any kind of what do we say, tips. तब तक take finance related questions. Yeah. Why do ace investors like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala buy companies with bad? Who told you like they're buying bad fundamental companies? I mean, come on. What do you say about penny stocks? Okay, firstly, I got a suggestion from my one of my audience. They told me that why don't you recommend penny stocks? Firstly, it's very volatile. I mean, it's very risky, and secondly, we have so many good fundamentally good companies to invest in. Why would you want to go and invest in some kind of penny stocks, which may give you return or may not? So I don't think it's worth. Hi Sally, I've added you, but you're not able to join in.
I'm so frustrated, man.
It's okay. Happens with me too. No
I got
problem.
locked out so many times and then मेरा request ही नहीं जा रहा है कि मतलब I
नहीं
want to
मैंने
go
ऐड किया
live.
है. I actually added you, but क्या पता क्या हो.
Yeah, but abhi it's like completely clear, man. Like it's so frustrating. But yeah, I'm back.
A question for you now that you're back. What
I'm so
platform?
sorry.
Yeah, no problem. What platform do we go to as a beginner to get clients as a content writer?
Facebook is the fastest and LinkedIn is the most profitable. Now you can choose if you want to be a little bit patient because LinkedIn takes a little bit of time. Or
To
do you
grow.
want just clients as soon as, yeah, absolutely. But if you want just clients immediately in LinkedIn, I'm sorry, Facebook, there's a lot of writing groups that you can join and get jobs.
Nice.
It's pretty simple. Like it's as simple as that. Like it's pretty good. But yeah, the quality of job opportunities is better on LinkedIn.
I want to start a business that delivers books from shops like Zomato, do with food. How can we start?
I have no startup based knowledge, man. I mean, like, not at least like this type of knowledge. Like, service based business would have been okay. So, yeah, I don't feel very confident sharing advice on this.
Okay, so we'll go on to next question. How to start off as a content writer? Do we need to make a portfolio of articles?
Yeah, of course. So, if you don't make a portfolio, you'll have to work for free for a lot of clients, and that is not really recommended. The clients you get for free work are usually not the best clients.
But what,
So, yeah.
okay, so also on this note, I want to ask, like, if a person is just starting out with his freelancing or whatever journey, uh, people usually don't get clients if they don't have a much social, what do we say? If they don't have a social media account which has too many followers, or a LinkedIn or whatever account which has many followers, whom they can sell to. So what can a person do in that case? Like, if they want to build a
Oh.
portfolio, but they don't get any kind of clients.
No, you don't need a lot of followers to get clients actually. You need an optimized profile and you can always go with outreach, right? Even if you don't get the clients themselves, you can easily search for the hashtag content writing agency and find agencies that are hiring. Okay. This is not the best way to get jobs though. But yes, you can do outreach as well, wherein you are the person reaching out to people. In fact, most people starting off have to do outreach. With time, you build a network, and time means like 1 or 2 months, and that's a very basic minimum. Uh, and within a month or two, you build a network, and that is where you just keep getting clients via the word of mouth, provided you did a good job. And also, a lot of times, as a freelancer, how many clients do you need? Like 3, 4 good quality clients, that's all. So a lot of times your first client may stick, your second client may stick for a while with you, and that translates to a good amount of money on a monthly basis, be it any niche.
Okay, nice.
Mhm. In some industries, it's easier to get like monthly clients than others.
Best advice for a 18-year-old.
Best advice for it, you go first.
Okay, okay. Since I'm like 90s right now, so one advice is you need to start your content creation journey. Like, if you have a social proof, that's very easy to, even if you want to go for a job, it's very easy to, uh, what do we say, to get a job. If I have a social proof, now it's very easy for me to get any kind of job. Or now I have a social proof, now people can actually trust to me that I have this much skills. So one thing is, if you are like anywhere little bit related to passionate about video creation or blogging, writing, whatever, you need to like start off with your content creation. And second advice would be to read a lot of books. I know I have been like, I started out reading books. Oh my God. I just noticed it. Wow.
I have a very big bookshelf.
I started off, at the age of 19 to read books. Earlier, I was like not even a 0% reader. I don't even used to like keep books. So, a very underrated advice from my side is to read books as much as possible because it gives you so much of value. I cannot like put it out in words. So read books. That's the two advice that I would like to give you guys. Now you can go ahead.
I completely agree with the reading books thing. Like book reading has definitely changed my life. Another very important advice that I'll give is that attach yourself to some kind of mission and some kind of work more than anything else, beyond any person. And I include family even in that. I feel like for me, my work, my passion, my mission, there's nothing beyond it. And when you do that, you let go of a lot of expectations of people, and that kind of empowers you in a very different manner. And also take your financial literacy and financial independence very
Yeah,
seriously.
how can I not
Big,
add this?
yeah, I think we did like ulta because I was supposed to talk about the books. You were supposed to talk about the
Yeah.
finances more. But okay, cool. Yeah, take your financial independence very seriously because there's a lot of things, especially if you're based in India, especially if you're in a family, which I believe most Indian families are dominated by the earning members, usually the highest earning male member. But you can change your family dynamics even if you earn, not to mention that even in your friend circle, your teachers and like all the people who may not treat you very well at some point will, your dynamics change basically when your financial situation changes. And that's not important because they are respecting you, but because your self-worth also increases when you're getting paid for your skills. Because someone paying you money for doing something for them, that doesn't happen by accident. Someone doesn't fall on a credit card and send you money, right? They see that worth in you. So that kind of transformation that you go through when you start earning is massive. I believe that is the biggest reason why I'm so much in love with spreading the word about financial independence. It's not really the money or the success, which are really good things, by the way, but rather the freedom and the self-esteem that you get with it. So yeah, that will be my tip to 18-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, parents. I have this one quote which I read on Gary Vee's
Uh-huh.
Twitter account. It said like, parents who pay for their child have much more control than the ones who actually earn their own money. So, if you don't want to get controlled by your parents, I feel like earning is the best way because, yeah, I have like personally experienced this whole scenario by my own self. Like earlier, I wasn't earning. I was like a student. I was going to college. I was doing normal life. I was like going through every single thing, reading books. But, there is one, what do we say, there is one status, one respect when you start to earn and no one can actually control you. But it's like they are your parents, they will obviously guide you. But that controlling factor that gets off your head after you start earning. That's what I have personally experienced. So yeah, that's like a very good tip from Sahili.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Not just friends also, like even like family and surroundings, relatives, extended families,
Yeah.
and school. Like I think like half of us were traumatized by our school teachers.
And school
I
actually
don't
don't
know.
teach us anything, man. I mean, I'm so upset. Just and the only thing which school can teach us is
School, terrible.
basic things, man. Like how to read, how to understand English. I mean, that's the only
School is
thing.
important for the socialization that you do there. Okay,
Yeah,
and all the people that like school, if you take away your closest friends, I don't think there's anything that remains in school, like for most people. And school actually builds you up to be an employee, right? It school doesn't teach you how to run your business. It's more like the work hours, the assignments, so this time it wires you into the employee mindset. If you want to run your business, school education is just not built like that. So you have to do a lot of self education on yourself.
100%.
Also,
Self-learning is best.
yes, absolutely. And school is not going to do that, right? School is more profitable creating employees than creating business people.
True.
So, yeah, if you want to be, if you want to work at a company and that's your life goal, kudos to you. Go do you. But for me, I just can't see myself like working for someone else because मेरे ही order मुझको अच्छे नहीं लगते. So like I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like anyone else's orders as well. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
that's a big
yeah.
reason. Uh-huh.
I don't like my parents controlling me. I don't know what will happen when my boss controls me one day. But luckily, I'm not into job things. I'm like more towards business side. I'll like have my own business in future. I'm planning right
Mhm.
now also. But yeah,
And it's more profitable to have your own business, right? Like a job, like it's gonna, you have to work for like 8 or 9 hours
but
really
what
at
I feel
most
here
jobs.
is, you should have a job at least once because, you will get that kind of experience that you lack for some reasons. I feel if you're like, doing your own startup or something like that, then that's cool. But, in the field of finance, I feel like experience is something which is really important to understand things. So I feel like if you are like just starting out, I think jobs can do a little bit of your help to get some kind of experience at the very beginning stage. So it will
Hmm.
help you get work
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah. I would love to relate to that, but I just can't because it will not make any more sense to me
Yeah, I
now.
mean
I
everyone
really
have
wanted to
different.
get a job before, like when I was in third year, I thought that I'll give like exams bolchi, the interviews of this TCS and all those companies came to my college, and then I heard the salary and I was like, no, please no,
Wow, I haven't heard the salary yet, but for the
20 or
work experience.
25,000 per month, nothing. I
For
was making
the
so much more than that.
and for the internships, are you
Uh-huh.
talking about or the job?
I have no idea whether it was the internships or the jobs, but like it was still like pretty low, like pretty low. So it was not worth it because like I had like exceeded that level like long, long ago. So it didn't make sense for me. But yeah, I understand like for someone who's just starting off, getting a little bit of job XP can be helpful.
100%. How much time did you take to learn all the 10 skills that you offer? What are the 10 skills? I want to know that.
How much time did it take to what?
To learn all the 10 skills that you offer. What are the 10
I don't
skills?
offer all the 10 skills, right? I've made a post recently about 10 skills that are very helpful, like for my journey, like
Oh,
it includes marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, and all. So it happens over time, right? Especially like in the field that I am in, which is marketing, you need a lot of skills like within it. Like you can't be a marketer and a terrible writer. You can't be a marketer and you have no sense of aesthetic. You can't be a marketer and you don't know what the audience wants. So there's a lot of things that you need to be able to do efficiently to be a marketer. So it comes organically. Of course, when I started off, my graphics were terrible. I didn't write well, and
Everyone is
so will you
terrible at
probably.
the beginning. I mean, I look at my
Yeah,
first video and I was like, wow, I mean, what a transformation that I've made.
मेरा तो छोड़ ही दो. But yeah, no matter what your skill set, there's gonna be clients who meet you at that skill set, right? With their budget bolo, with their requirements bolo, no matter what skill set. Okay, I have also had students who are really not that good at English or really terrible at sense of aesthetic who did get clients. Yeah, you won't get like very high paying clients if you're not really good at what you do,
Yeah, but
but
by
still it's
time
pretty
you will
decent.
like have that much, skill sets.
Hmm. Exactly. It's all about like starting off because unless you start off, you will not start gaining that experience.
100%, yes, agree with that. What would be a good platform for a freelance beginner to get clients other than reaching out on IG? Like, as I said, Fiverr, Upwork, what else can someone look
Fiverr
for?
and Upwork, I won't recommend because it's really hard to get jobs. You can start with any social media platform. Okay, I
Also, I
personally
want to
love
like to
Facebook.
know, hello, sorry to
Uh-huh, I
interrupt.
can hear you.
Uh,
No, no, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, one of my friend actually texted me that what do we say? Fiverr actually charges you to open the account. Is it true? Like,
Does
I
it?
don't know.
I don't know. See, I just tried it like once in my life, those two platforms, and I immediately understood this is not beginner friendly. So I stuck to Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn is still a like recent addition to my list of platforms I use for client acquisition.
LinkedIn is a
Facebook
very
is
good
my
one.
personal favorite. Quality of clients is very good. Like quality of leads is also very good on LinkedIn. But for me,
100%.
I still feel very comfortable with Facebook, just make sure that you're not giving any security deposit. I can't even believe I have to say this, but there's a lot of people who ask for this thing called security deposit. And Ranveer is saying there's nothing like a charge fee to start up. And Ranveer is one of my students, and he's doing really well as a freelancer, and he does use Fiverr. So if he's saying that, I'm pretty sure it's not. It doesn't charge you.
Okay,
It does
okay.
charge like a transactional fee, I think, when you take off the money, all right. But I guess Ranveer can enlighten me on that. But majority of platforms have that transactional fee. Like I work through PayPal, which is basically the platform where I
Hmm.
take the money. So they only take 10% charge. Oh, and it might
Yeah.
not be like a lot, like just the 10%. But let's say I am earning $2,000. So उसमें से $200 अगर कट गया तो मतलब that's a lot. So it adds up soon. But yeah,
True.
so Facebook is my personal recommendation. Don't go for other platforms unless you're comfortable. Like there's a lot of factors in actually choosing the platform of your choice. So yeah, there's a lot of factors there. Personally, I would just recommend Facebook and Facebook groups.
Yeah, and also, it's not my own personal experience, but one of my friend is doing freelancing. So he have like gotten a lot of clients through LinkedIn. So I feel like LinkedIn is also a great platform to go ahead with.
Mhm. LinkedIn does get me good clients as well. Like the potential client or the leads are very good. Like the quality of leads is very good. And there's a reason for that. So compared to an average Facebook user, an average LinkedIn user's income is 75% higher. I read this in self-study and it makes sense, right? Because LinkedIn is used by professionals mainly.
Yeah.
And Facebook, all youngsters also use it, right? Those who may not be making any income. So considering the income is like 75% higher, you can get better quality clients and higher paying clients on LinkedIn. So do
But
a little
not
bit of study
always,
on the
not
platform.
always you will get high paying clients through LinkedIn. There are so many clients that, are underpaying so many good freelancers.
Uh-huh. It's also a lot about the approach. Like, how, are you able to communicate the value you bring to the table? Like, a lot of people, when they are saying that I'm a marketer, it doesn't make sense, right? Because a lot of people are marketers. But when you make it a transformational sentence that I help businesses of a certain category hit this kind of revenue goals using what method, that becomes like a niche statement and that will get you better clients than generally saying that, oh, I'm just a marketer. Because so many people have that in their bio, right? You have to differentiate yourself. And that statement is one thing. And another thing is like how you show up, what are your inner values? Okay. Because there are some clients who are okay with their marketers doing shady tactics. Okay. Uh,
Okay, also
and I
another thing.
personally am, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
listening.
go ahead, go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can.
so some people will be okay with that, that you try things like that. And if you're that kind of a person, work with those clients, no problem. But if you have other values, your value is authenticity, honesty, you will be able to target a whole different type of audience through your strategies, through your content. So values is also a huge factor in getting better clients. And this is not that talked about, but it definitely resonates with clients, the kind of person you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were asking something or saying something. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Someone from the audience side asked us that I am very shy. How can I communicate well? So any advice to that guy?
Okay. If you're shy, I mean, like, it's not a girl that you're asking out on a date, right? So there's nothing to be that shy about it. Although, like,
Yeah,
client
there are
calls
so
can be a
many
little bit.
introverts, man, who actually cannot. I was personally one. I was an introvert earlier, but now that I'm like becoming more towards ambivert side. So yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of courage to go and talk to someone at the very beginning stage. But from my own personal experience, I feel like you should just start. The very first call would be like terrible. The very first
It was
proposal
terrible. I still
would
remember it.
be
It was a hot
very,
mess.
yeah, absolutely. I agree with that so much. I mean, I can relate to that. I have been through that situation. So first thing will always be very terrible, but once you are on your 100th proposal, it will like be very much fluent and better.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
consistency and working towards it and starting off is the things which I'll say
No, but
out from my side.
this is so true. And another thing that really works for me, and I do this for every person I talk with, which includes my call with Ashna, my first call with her that you didn't witness. I have a written script in front of me which points down what are the things I'm going to talk about so that there's no chance the conversation can go in any other way. Because that's when you might feel like more insecure that what are you going to say? So have a script, okay, a tentative script right in front of you. I know it
Oh,
sounds like a little bit of work, but it actually saves you time because a lot of times client conversations go here and there and nowhere. And that happened to me like a few months last year, towards the end of last year. So I had this prospect call who, and they were based in US. So the time they had given me to talk to them was very early morning. Okay. And I had just moved out of my parents' place then. So my schedule was very effed up then. And when I woke
okay.
up, it was already the time, like just the time. I had not sent them a link. Somehow I just sat up, sent them the link. And since it was just, I had no time to prepare, I opened the Zoom call and I don't have my script. And it went so wrong. Okay, it went so wrong because the conversation flew in different directions. Yes, I could talk about what I do, but it doesn't really matter how many years of experience you have or whether you are an extrovert or an introvert. If you don't have a plan, your calls are likely to go into a bad direction. So have that plan. Okay, I can't believe I had that experience after like so many years of working, but that happened, and it was the conversation went to wild places like their historical genetics and all that. Like it was just, I now that I think about it, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, try your best to stick to a script.
Earlier I used to write scripts even for the live sessions, like what are the questions that I'm gonna answer, I'm gonna ask someone, and I always used to script out and I used to write it down or save it in my phone so that I remember. But now that since I've like done so many live sessions, now I know that audience are going to ask the question. I just have to read the question and ask it to you. So that's what I
Uh-huh.
do.
No, I'm
But
chill
I
with
was very
IGTV lives and all.
yeah, nowadays I am, but earlier I was like very nervous and conscious about these IGTVs too. Someone
Hmm.
approached me asking, "Do you want to join in training field with us?" Even if I say, "Don't go, man, don't
Red
go."
flags. Don't join these like training programs. Don't join these like security fee kind of jobs. If someone is giving you a job, they are supposed to pay you.
I
Okay.
mean, if
They
you're
can feel
saying
free to
no,
not hire you.
if
Uh-huh.
that person is actually saying no, then I don't think if you personally don't feel like you should join towards that particular thing, you should like drop out. And if even if they are forcing you, dude, you have a block option. You can do that.
Yeah, yeah. These are like usually network marketing scams.
True,
Usually, these
I
are
was a
network
part of
marketing
that,
scams.
man. I'm so embarrassed to say that.
Oh, wow. This will be interesting. So, how did you get in?
Okay, so one of my friend whom I met on Instagram, not
It's always a
actually,
friend.
yeah, I mean actually,
It works
uh,
like that.
one of my college friend actually at the very beginning when that was I won't reveal the company's name, but you know it was like you will get a Lamborghini, you will get a Mercedes, and being a 17, 18 years old, I was like, bro, Lamborghini, meri. That's how I started out. But soon, like, you know, अक्कल आ जाती है. So I was like, okay, this is a scam. Then
Did
again,
you lose money
no, not even a
this
chance.
time?
No, actually, you know, the scam here is you have to buy some products like up to 30,000 or something. That's the rate.
Yeah. It's always that number. I think I know the company. We'll talk about it in WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
someone
yeah.
is asking what is freelancing. Okay, so freelancing is basically when you offer your services to clients Indian abroad for a certain fee. Okay, and you can work with multiple clients usually. So you run your own business technically. You're not an
Okay.
employee, you just serve other people. And why is it so profitable? Because let's say today entrepreneurship is on the rise. And let's say I am that entrepreneur, right? I am building a startup and I need someone to design my website. I cannot afford to employ someone full time and it won't even make sense, right? So what I'll do is I'll get a freelancer who will do this project one time for a certain amount of money that will save me money. Okay. And you can do my project and you can do three other people's websites at the same time, provided you reach everyone's deadlines. And maybe once in 2, 3 months, I'll call you again to make some changes onto the website. Okay. So that happens. But usually, startup owners, business owners, people who are trying to start, restart, or grow their business, but they are not like proper organizations or companies, get freelancers because that is more affordable to them. That makes more sense for them financially. And for freelancers, it's good because you can work with multiple clients, you have flexibility, there's no commitment per se. Okay, like the commitment of an employer employee. Okay, and that is why it's so profitable because if you're working at a company for doing a certain set of jobs, you have to spend this much hours, you'll get this much salary. I agree with bonuses, but then usually there's a fixed limit, right? How much you can make in a year. But in freelancing, it really depends on how much you're able to offer, how many clients you work with, also how big is your team, right? With a big team, you can take like 10, 12 projects and make a huge amount of money, which is like the agency model. Agency model you can move into like after some years of experience. So that is what I'm trying to do now.
Nice, nice. I have
It's
just
a
started my,
pain.
but that's good, man. So many people are actually struggling to earn, but you've done it successfully. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh my God. You're like a youngest sister to me. So like hearing that is cool. Yeah, I think like I started very early. That has been a very unfair advantage that I was able to start early.
Yeah, that's like another advice that we can add for 18 years old to start out early because that's the age they should actually, you know, work towards their skills and develop and improve that. Because, you know, luckily I did it. So, you know, I feel like, you know, much more prioritizing. You know, I feel like I have like prioritized myself by, you know, learning skills and, you know, knowing about my own skills, my passions at a very young age. So yeah, you should actually focus much on improving and learning skills.
Hmm. What's the time? Oh, I think we'll take like a few
Yeah,
more questions, few more last questions.
yeah, last one or two questions maybe, and then we'll end up.
The most interesting ones. Pick the wildest one. I
Sorry.
don't know why on every. Mhm. You can pick out the wildest ones.
Actually, I am not able to see any questions. All the questions are like on a white screen.
Yeah. It should be like on a different screen, like not the live screen.
No. On the different screen, but I'm not able to see them.
Oh, okay. I guess then you can leave it in the comments as well. Plus, at 18, you have so much energy. I've been so true. I don't know what happened to that energy I used to have.
Okay, now that I'm getting the idea that once you are much more elder, you lack energy.
Also, there's so much to do, right? Especially since like now I'm living alone and everything. So
I
like
guess
housework is also a lot. Abhi to I'm with
Oh,
my family for a few days. That's a relief.
yeah, true. So, most of the questions are just about how to find clients and how to get the first prospect. So I think
Yeah, my
we'll
whole
take this,
account is of that.
we'll
You
take this
can check
last
my account.
question. Yeah, I mean, people actually
Books
struggle with this
recommended.
part.
Let's end with this one. The books we recommend. Okay, you go
Okay.
first.
Okay, so I'll be talking about the investing side, like the books which helped me get towards my investing journey. The number one, obviously being said, the most popular one, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm a huge fan of that. I know it talks a lot about what do we say, investing side, and not about building a income source of income at the very beginning. But if you want to like develop a financial mindset, that's the book you should read. Like that's the first book that you should read because it's not boring. It will not bore you. It is like
It's very
more towards
interesting.
story side, and it is very fun and interesting to read that book. Luckily, that was my first book. So yeah. And the
That
second
was
book
one
is
of the first books in my family too, like in the Bengali version, because my
oh,
dad bought it. Funny. Uh,
that was
but yeah,
my
that was
first
one of
book
the
too.
earliest books. Uh, what's the second book?
The second book is Money Master the Game, and the third book is I only recommend three of them. I'll Teach You to Be Rich. These three are like the gems. I'll only
Oh, I love
recommend
all
them.
these. I love especially Ramit's book, the one that you
Yeah.
recommended last. Like that's a must read. Ramit also has a blog called "I Will Teach You to Be Rich." So,
Oh, really? Yeah, even Rich Dad Poor Dad has one website of their own.
Ramit's blog is amazing. Like my dream is to meet him someday. So,
My dream
yeah.
is to meet Robert Kiyosaki someday. I just love him.
I hope you do. Although Robert Kiyosaki has a little bit of sketchy past, though. You can read up about it. I'm sorry to break this if you
Oh,
didn't know,
I
but
need
it
to
has
then.
some
Because
sketchy.
like I have like
Uh,
seen so many of his podcasts and YouTube videos. Like I have like
hey,
almost finished most of the YouTube part of his content. It's amazing,
uh-huh.
man.
Yeah, it is amazing. He's a magnetic speaker, and the way he presents his ideas is amazing. But yeah, since I've been into this for so long, I came across a lot of things that are not so pleasant to know and all. I try to ignore them and just take the good parts because
Yeah, I
no
mean we
one is
should always
perfect.
focus on the good things rather than taking or grasping negatives.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
you tell
So
me what are the
for
books?
for my rec
Wow, you are here
this,
with that.
this is Calvin and Hobbes. Don't take life so seriously. Please read comics and be
Okay,
happy because
I am assuming that you were assuming that I'm going to ask you one question to related to reading book text. So now that you're ready with the book, is it?
oh, no, I was reading this actually, like for a little bit of stress relief. But yeah,
Oh,
Calvin and Hobbes would be the fun book. Apart from that, a serious and very good non-fiction book I'll recommend is called Personal MBA. I recommend it in every live, and it's worth it. And some of you have still not read it, which is a disappointment. Please read it.
I
Uh,
have not. I'll read
and
it
apart from that, I have like too many books here. Like you should
as
watch
we
my
can
first
see.
channel, Helly, for the recommendations because I love all of these books. Yeah, I think like I'll
You know
recommend
what?
like
I
this
actually have
psychology.
seen your videos when I was in my 11th or 12th something. I
And my
remember.
channel was very small then,
No,
very
but
small
it was
channel.
too good, man. I mean, I got a lot of value from it. I still remember that. I guess that was the book
Uh-huh.
section itself. Like, some
Yeah,
books
yeah, I used
weren't
to
good.
make only book recs.
Yeah, it was too good, man. You're going great.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Repeat the name of the books. So she recommended I Will Teach You to Be Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. Right.
True.
Tony Robbins is also very sketchy, man.
Oh, what?
Like
You
a
have
whole
like the
different level of
biodata
sketchy.
of all of them.
Yeah, because I've been doing a lot of research on these people because they are the coaches and all. So I work in the coaching industry, right? So like I have to know about them. Like have to
Okay.
nahi hai, but like study
Nah,
karna padta
got
hai.
it. Yeah.
And I recommended Calvin and Hobbes, personal MBA for like work, and lastly a psychological thriller because everyone needs to do a few murders, even if it's in a book.
I don't like to read these novels, man. I don't know why, but I never get interested towards these kind of books. I always love non-fictions, self-development books.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I have always been into fiction first and then non-fiction. Abhi, I like non-fiction a little bit more, honestly. But then fiction is always like first, right?
Time lagega.
So,
I'll also switch towards fiction sometime. Once that I
uh-huh,
have the habit of reading non-fiction first, because like I have just started out. So
uh-huh. I
I
see
have
so
like
many comments about Tony Robbins.
his podcast is amazing. Like I listen to it every single day.
There's a YouTube channel called Moone Cat. If you see her videos about Tony Robbins, you'll understand what I'm saying. And they're very, very problematic, like very problematic. So after that, I've just not been, but before that, I was a huge fan too. But
Oh,
very problematic. And the two that I can have off the top of my head, and this is very interesting. Basically, there was this, so they used to do these webinars kind of thing, like in-person webinars. I'm pretty sure you know about that. In
yeah.
US, they are like a very big thing. Uh-huh. So with Tony, he shared the stage with someone called Dr. Robert O. Young, except that he was not a doctor, so he was just Robert Young. He just likes to call himself doctor. And he made some kind of cure for cancer. And he sold it to a lot of people. And then eventually, of course, it was not a cure, and people died. And he was like, kind of, I think he was arrested. But then Tony is liable for giving him that stage, right? Because he gave that exposure. So yes, he was not responsible with that. But the directly problematic thing about Tony is that, and you can see this right on YouTube. There's so many instances where someone is sharing a problem with him, and he's manipulating them into thinking that they are the problem and not the person who is torturing them, abusing them. There was a woman who was saying that her husband beats her and all, and he was like, "You're does he really make you feel bad? Then why would you stay? You definitely like the attention." And all of those things were very problematic. And I agree, these are like many years ago, but he has never taken accountability for all this. So that is problematic. So there's a lot of things like, if you
I
dig
probably
deeper, things
should
are
like, yeah, I need to
dirty.
dig it up. But I
I'll
was just
send it to you
taking like
later.
the, yeah, I love to watch it, but
Take the
again,
good parts.
yeah, but then I try to focus on the positives ones. Like I don't want to
Hmm.
get towards the negative side because already I am into like much more overthinking zone because if I hear something, I'll overthink about it. So I like try to avoid negative things. So yeah, that's like I try to pick up positive ones like the podcast that he films or the YouTube
Hmm.
section. Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't watch much
absolutely.
about him, but yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like good to hear him too. But now that it is said
I
about
understand what you're
something
saying,
about him,
and I agree with you. You can like someone and still call them out on their BS. That's completely fine. Like you
I
don't have
got
to
to know
completely
everything
agree.
today. Like, I wasn't aware about this.
You're shook. I'm sorry for shattering that perception, but you should watch Monicat's video. Like it's really good. I'll
Yeah,
send it to
send it
you.
to me. Send it to me. 100%. So yeah, I mean, that's it.
Okay.
I guess
Yeah. Thank you to
we have.
everyone who joined in.
Yeah, it was amazing. Your questions were amazing. We loved it.
Thank you so
Especially
much,
Saili
Angana.
loved it because so many questions were there related to the client section. How
Yeah,
to get that.
exactly. टोनी रॉबिन्स जो अभी तो ये होएगा अभी Tony Robbins thing. But yeah, it was super fun talking to you too, Ashna. You are like so fresh, vibrant, and I
Thank
really
you.
need to learn more about investing per se because I don't take direct control usually. Looking forward to Zomato's IPO.
100%. I mean, I am also looking forward to that, but that's not a recommendation, guys. Everything on your own
Uh-huh.
risk.
Exactly. Like for your industry, I know for a fact that the worst part is that you have to remind people that this is not professional advice. Like, do
This
at
is
your
just
own
what
risk.
I think and what I have researched about, but
Mhm.
it changes every time. Like next moment it's something else, next moment it's something else. So it keeps on changing. You have to keep yourself updated, so you cannot go on one tip or one's advice. So I need to like constantly remind them that do your own research about investing first. Don't go on my word.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like the accountability and liability, don't keep people accountable for their free advice. Like that's the last thing that you should do.
True. So it
Uh-huh.
was super great to talk to you, and we got
Thank
so
you.
many insightful things to know about, especially the Tony Robbins too.
That was really not a part of the plan.
True, but yeah, something useful that I need to know about. I'll research about it and dig deep inside.
Mhm.
But anyways, let's end this live now. It was great to
Uh-huh.
have you. Thank you so
And
much
it
for
will be
joining.
saved on It will be saved on her profile. I see a lot of people saying that save this. It will be saved. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It will start saving automatically, I think. All right. It was super fun talking to all of you. Have a great night and have a very productive weekend or relax on the weekend, whatever you want. Make sure that you are making conscious decisions for your future, be it in terms of your career or investing. And yeah, keep following me and the Money Lancer Ashna. And we'll see you again soon sometime. And I post pretty much regularly. Even Ashna posts very regularly.
Yeah. So, bye bye, guys. I'll see you
Bye
in
bye.
my next live session. Till then, stay safe,
Uh-huh.
be at
Yeah.
home.
And wear a mask, double
Yeah,
mask.
100%.
Bye bye.
Bye.